Hi, I'm Sharon, and this is Knit Style. Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 144 of Knit Style. I'm so glad you joined me today. So Rich is not with us today because he is battening down the hatches. We are about to get a huge blizzard here in New York, a classic nor'easter. So Rich is getting ready for the storm, and I'm told it takes a lot to get things ready. So you just got me today. Anyway, it is Monday, March 13th, 2017. And again, thank you guys for joining me today. So let's get started. Okay, I have no finished objects this week. However, I do have something that's almost about to be finished. And that is Rich's socks. Yay! So I made a dent on them this week. Here's the first one. So I pretty much am almost to the toe, and then I'll do the toe increases, pop in the heel, and I'll be finished with them, which is amazing. And thank you for those of you who are knitting socks for Rich. I have all the packages ready to be put together. I have all the yarn dyed. I have all of the yarn to be knit, and I'm going to put those together tomorrow during Snowmageddon and get those out to you Thursday or Friday. So that's awesome. It took me a long time to print out those shipping labels. I printed out return shipping labels too. So yeah, it took me a few minutes. So anyway, so I'm pretty excited about my progress on these. So we're not going to be in the car likely the next couple days because, yeah, of all the lovely snow we're getting. So I don't know if I'll work on these at home or not. We'll see. This is my car knitting. That's why it takes so long to complete. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I use a size 0 needle on all my socks, but you know what? It's interesting. I measured my gauge, and I'm almost knitting 9 stitches to the inch. I think I could go down to a 1, or I'm sorry, I think I could move up to a size 1 needle, you know, the next half size. So I think I'm going to try that on my next sock because my gauge is really dense, which is great because it won't wear as fast. But yeah, I've tightened up quite a bit since I first started knitting socks. So maybe I won't have to knit everything on 0s anymore. We shall see. And this is the Smooth Operator pattern by Susan B. Anderson. And she calls for you to put in the heel after you've knit some of the cuff or some of the foot, but I think I'm just going to wait until I finish this whole sock and then put the heel in. Because knitting with all those needles was not fun for me. So now I know how long to make them. We're good to go. Okay, next work in progress. I am super happy with all the progress I've made on this sweater. This is the Puntilla sweater by Locatelli, and I am in love with it. Here's the pattern. It's just beautiful. It is knitting up just fabulous, and I just loved the sample knit in the gray, so I am very thrilled that I knit this one in gray. And look how much progress I've made. Woohoo! I am almost ready to start the ribbing on the bottom. I have to knit 14 inches. I think I'm maybe an inch away from the bottom of the sweater. And then I'll start the ribbing, and then the body will be finished, and all I'll have to do is the sleeves, which the sleeves start here, so it shouldn't be too bad to complete the sleeves, and I'll have a sweater. So I'm really excited because it has a lace detail that goes onto the bottom, and I'm really excited to be knitting that. And I'm going to be knitting that out of the same yarn in white. This yarn is Mimi by Lotus Yarns, I believe. Lotus Mimi. And it's discontinued. And I actually tried to find the listing on eBay today because I was going to buy more and I couldn't find it. So, I don't know. I saw it last week, so maybe it's just down for a couple days. I'm not sure. But I'm in love with this sweater. It's just so soft, and the yarn is a combination of mohair wool and acrylic, apparently. And they discontinued it because they advertise it as 100% mink, which it is clearly not, but do I care? Absolutely not, because I love it. So I started a new project, which is completely insane. I have this project on the needles. It's not, I've hardly done anything on it. This Wildheart by Janina Kalilo. And yeah, this one's just kind of on the back burner. I just wanted to cast it on to see how it went, and I like it. I was hoping it would be more mindless, but it's not, so it's kind of on the back burner for now because I went to the bead show yesterday in my town, and my friend went with me. I picked out beads for my Morticia shawl. So I just had to cast this on after I picked out the beads. I was so excited. So I wound the yarn last night. This is Woolen Vine Yarns in the Mexican Hot Chocolate colorway. And it's completely gorgeous, as you can see. At the bead show, I picked these beads. And I think the beads go really, really well. Then when I was reading the pattern, it said that it called for 2 colors of beads. And I just so happened to have in my stash, my bead stash, this color. So I think I'm going to use both of these beads in the project. And so far, it's coming out really nice. This one kind of fades into the yarn, and this one pops a little bit. So I think that's a nice combination. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like, even though I haven't gotten very far. Hardly. It's like a nothing so far. I maybe have 10 rows in. But this is my wee baby shawl. And you can probably see the different color beads. This is the darker bead down here. And then this top one is the lighter bead. And I think they're going to coordinate fine. It's just a little bit different that she calls for 2 different color beads. I think it's kind of awesome. So it's super cool. So if you remember last week, I wore my beautiful, like it's like a gold color with the green beads, and that's also by Boo Knits. The pattern's by Boo Knits, and it's the exact same shawl. I started knitting it, I'm like, I remember this. It's the exact same shaping, and it's just got a different lace pattern and a different, obviously a different edging. So that's fine. It's going to be gorgeous because I love that other shawl. So yeah, it was really easy to pick up because I knit a whole shawl with that shape before. And I'm really happy with the pattern so far. It's really fun. So yeah, new project. Yay. So I'm just knitting on this maybe an hour a day just to get myself started with it because I was so excited about the beads. And I really want to push to finish that sweater because I'd love to get some wear out of it before the winter season ends. Hopefully soon. It's almost spring and yeah, we're going to have some snow on the ground. However, what's nice is it's so late in the winter, the snow should melt quickly because I need to do some outside exercise. My running has been... I haven't run at all because it's been really, really cold and windy and not so great. So I need to get back to it because it's, yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay, so that is all the knitting I did this week. I did a little bit of spinning and I have a really nice full fat bobbin, which is gorgeous. I love it. So this is Romney. It's a fleece that I bought at Connecticut Sheep and Wool 3 years ago. And it's a dream to spin. I love it. I had it processed at Morrow Fleece Works. I do not process my own fleece. I do not have time to process fleece. And honestly, I might someday process a very small fleece, but I don't think it's anything that I'm going to love doing. And I don't have the tools really to then finish it after I wash it and all that. So I just send it out. I just want to spin. I don't want to be bothered with washing and all that. If you're into that, that's cool. If I had more time, maybe I would be, but, oh, and it would be very hard to wash a fleece in this house because of old pipes, and it would just be too hard. So off to the mill it goes. And it's just spinning up beautifully. I'm going to do a 3-ply and hopefully knit a colorwork sweater. So I have probably 4 ounces done by now because my second bobbin is about 1/4 of the way full. And this is about 3 ounces on this bobbin. So I have 4 ounces, which isn't bad. It's going quick. So I should have this done by May 1st. And then I'd like to cast the sweater on soon after that. So we'll see. Okay, speaking of sweaters, let me show you an acquisition that I obtained this week. So back in February, I showed you this. I received some yarn from Blue Moon Fiber Arts in order to knit a shawl for my retirement party. And I decided that the color was gorgeous. It was this beautiful silvery gray, but it's not really what I wanted. What I wanted to do is knit this shawl that I was planning out of a gradient yarn. So I exchanged the yarn, and I'm going to dye myself a gradient for that project. I'm going to do it myself. So I exchanged the yarn for some Targhee because I got sweaters on the brain. I just want to knit sweaters right now. And so the Targhee was the same price. It was actually a really good price. And so I got 2 skeins of this gorgeous Targhee. Now, I'm not going to lie. They dye to order, so you can't really see the color in the yarn that you order it on the website. And I know this. I know that the colors are sometimes wildly different, and sometimes you can search Ravelry for the color, on the base you want. I wasn't able to find the color. But anyway, so I ordered, and I'm going to pop the color picture in here so you can just see the difference. I ordered, the color was called Motley Hue, I believe. And it's like, it looked like a blue, like tonal blue, like a gray tonal blue. And I got something a little different than I thought. It is the same colorway, but this is it. And on the monitor, it's looking more blue. But if you can see here when I hold it up close, and I'm not going to be able to tell if you can see, but it's got some pink in there, which I don't know. I wasn't expecting pink in this yarn, but I'm sure it's going to knit up beautiful. And I do like the gray tones, and I think if you look, I think it's going to look gorgeous with my eyes. So I just have to get over the fact that it's got a little pink and get over it, because it's beautiful. I really like it, and it's just this great squishy targhee, which is a breed of sheep, for those of you who do not know. And it's a little more toothy than merino, which is perfectly fine with me. It's going to make a beautiful warm sweater for next year. And let me show you the pattern that I'm planning. So I kind of fell in love with this sweater. It's just a simple pullover with a little bit of garter stitch detailing. So the back is all garter stitch, and the front obviously is stuck in it. And I think the garter stitch just gives it this really great casual look. And, you know, it's kind of a boxy-ish, oversized sweater. You know, just kind of a weekendy sweater that you could dress up, you know, if you want. And that's what I'll be wearing next year when I'm retired. I mean, I could definitely wear this to work, not a problem. But I'm looking for really cozy sweaters to hang out in the house with. So this will fit the bill. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know when I'm going to cast it on. We'll see. If I finish my hand spun for the Colorwork Isolde Teague sweater, I'll probably cast that on next as sweater-wise. If I don't, I'm going to cast this on. I think it's going to knit up quick. It's like 1,200 yards. So I think it's going to be a fast knit. And I'm pretty excited about it. So another acquisition that I got this week was some spinning fiber, which I need like a hole in the head. But Joanna from Knit Spin Farm had an update. And if you're not familiar with Joanna and her products, she makes bags and she sometimes sells bats and sometimes fiber. So she lives on a farm and she raises sheep, and she had her sheep sheared and processed, and I bought some of that processed fiber. So this is her card, her logo. Knit Spin Farm. She's on Etsy. And this is some South Down roving from all of her sheep, Martha, Clara, and Rose. And Joanna used to do a podcast. She no longer podcasts because she is off the grid as much as she can be, and good for her. That's awesome. I could not do that. I'm so on the grid. It's not even funny. But she's getting in touch with the land in her farm, and that's amazing. So I think that's incredible. So good on you to be off the grid. I doubt you're watching me. You're off the grid, Joanna. But I love this fiber. It is, yeah, I could wear this next to skin. But I think what this is going to be, I think this is going to be a pair of socks because it's a down breed. It has no nylon. It is not superwash, but from what I understand, it's a hardy fiber, and it makes lovely socks. So what I'm thinking is I have 8 ounces of it. So I'd love to dye it and then maybe make a matching pair of socks for Rich and I. Maybe dye it in the oven or something. I don't think it felts very easily, so I could probably dye it in a pot on the stove. I mean, I would certainly be careful not to manhandle it too much or boil it. I just have to get the heat just right. And it's beautiful. I'm really excited. Oh, it's very nice. Very bouncy. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make, I think I might make a thicker sock, like a slipper sock. So yeah, goals when I retire. But Joanna makes just beautiful things. She also makes lovely, lovely drawstring bags. Okay, so I'm really excited actually to be spinning again because I went too long without spinning and I really missed it. So what I'm doing is when I spin, I've been listening to an audiobook, and it's really sad. I used to read a lot before I took up knitting, and I don't really read as much anymore at all because I'm usually listening to podcasts or I'm watching podcasts when I'm knitting or watching TV. So I joined Audible again. They gave me a really good deal. So I joined Audible and I got a couple books. And right now I'm listening to The Girl on the Train, which is excellent. I highly recommend it. I'm not really into the mystery thriller genre, but this is a good one. I like the characters. I like the narration. I think the narration is excellent. I really like the oral readers who are performing this book. Very, very nice, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't read it in print and you would want to listen to a book. I would recommend The Girl on the Train. So if you guys have any other books that you've listened to on Audible, please put it in the comments because I'm almost done with that. And I'd love to start a new book. I think I have a credit for this month. So I would love to start a new book. Fiction. And, something that, you know me, something that you think I'd like, can be popular with everybody or not. So, yeah, I like stories. I like stories about women, good stories. So, yeah, leave me some suggestions. That'd be awesome, you guys. Thank you. Okay, so that brings us to the shop update. So last week I opened up pre-orders for the birdhouse bags. And by the way, if you bought these 2 bags and you don't want to see the yarn, look away, fast forward, because I'm about to show the yarn that goes with it. Okay? Are you gone? Or you might want to see your yarn. Anyway, I dyed the yarn to match these bags this weekend, and I'm completely thrilled with how it came out. So I want to show you guys because we have several left in the shop. So the bag is this beautiful birdhouse pattern. And I don't know about you, but I love my feathered friends that come into my yarn. You can tell what I have on the brain. But anyway, so here is the yarn that I dyed to match. And it is called Feathered Friends. So I am completely thrilled with how this came out. I think the yarn is gorgeous. Really pretty. This is it on the sparkle base. This is one on the Posh base, MCN. And this is one on the Trendy base, and this one's not sold yet. So if you guys order a bag with the Trendy base, this is the 4-ply sock yarn, then I will ship that right away. So thrilled, very, very happy with how the match came. So Feathered Friends to go into the birdhouses. Okay, so I also dyed Fallen Fairy. I have 2 on the Posh base and 1 on the Trendy base. I dyed some fairy wings. 3 of those. I think I have one on a sparkle, one on Posh, and one on Chic, the 2-ply. These are really pretty. They came out nice. I have a new color. It is Fallen Fairy's Sassy Little Second Cousin. And I'm calling this Sprite. And Sprite is pink and a little bit of greenish teal. And she's sassy, so she has some pops of neon yellow and a little bit of speckling. So that is Sprite, and I have a sparkle one and I have a 2-ply one. They're really pretty. And I have one skein of Fairy Garden because I was dyeing them this week for the pre-orders. I was dyeing them for the pre-orders for the bag combo, and I wanted to dye another one. So this is going to be a standalone on its own. You can purchase this without the bag because the bags are sold out. And yeah, so there you go. We have that. So the update's going to be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Etsy, and I'll put a link down below, as I always do, to my shop, and hope to see you there. And I also wanted to tell everybody thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for buying my yarn. I am just so excited that you guys like the colorways that I've come up with, and I love dyeing yarn. I'm really, really enjoying it. So thank you so much for purchasing the yarn and for all your wonderful feedback you've given me on Etsy. Oh, it just makes my heart sing to see how much you guys enjoy the yarn. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that is it for today. Not bad, a little over half an hour, which is my normal time. Rich is knitting. He sends his love. He's so funny. He sat down the other night and he's just making a swatch, you know, like a stockinette coaster. And he said, "Wow, I sure have a lot left to go." And I said, "You'll get there, you'll get there." You know, so he'll be back on the show. Even if he doesn't finish the swatch, he'll come back soon when things aren't so crazy around here. Anyway, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. If you are in the storm's pathway, stay warm. If not, hopefully you'll enjoy the nice weather. But I will see you again next week. Cheers.